So, I'm not exactly sure why I'm being led to speak about this at this time, but it's something that happened to me when I was about 11 years old. And I've had many encounters with near death experiences. But the first time was when I was about 11 years old. We were living in Levittown, Pennsylvania, and we were in a town, actually, a area called Bloomsdale, and it's like mini Philly is what we used to call it. And like I said, I was about 11 years old, and we were living in a two-bedroom house on Fleetwing Drive, and we had been there for several years. It was my mom, my brother, me, and my sister. And like I said, we had a two-bedroom. So my mother, she was working at a company called 3M, which, they do a lot of the tape dispensaries and things like that. You've probably seen them all over. And she had got hurt on the job. So she hurt her back and she sued the company and she won. So she got a settlement and she decided that she wanted to move us into a three-bedroom house, which was on the same block, just further down. So we moved into the house. She got new furniture, new TV, things of that nature. We took a lot of things from our old home and brought them into the new home. So one day I was sleeping. My brother, who's older, she had got him up. My mother got him up for school. She was downstairs making his breakfast and he was getting ready for school. And me and my sister went in the other room. We were knocked out sleeping. And all of a sudden, I heard somebody scream. I heard my name. And I woke up out of my sleep and I just heard Trina, Trina. And I woke up. And when I sat on my bed, I looked out the door. I walked towards the door and I could see my mother down the hallway at the end of the hallway standing at the top of the stairs. And she was like, "Wake up your sister, wake up your sister. The house is on fire. Your brother's room is on fire." And I'm like, "What?" And it was crazy because his room was adjacent to ours. So it was like right there. And I looked and there was fire flaming out of his room, like flaming in and out, in and out. And I was just in shock. And I'm just, she's like, "Wake up your sister." So I go run to her and I'm shaking her, shaking her, shaking her. "Des, wake up, wake up, wake up." And she would not wake up. And I'm just like, "Oh my God." And I'm just shaking her and shaking her. And then finally she comes to and wakes up. And I'm like, "Des, come on, wake up. The house is on fire. Jules' room is on fire." So she gets up and we had to wait because the blaze was so big that it kept going in and out the house, in and out the room, in and out the room. And we had to wait until the fire died down enough for us to be able to run out of the room. So finally, after a few minutes, the blaze went down and we were able to jet out the door. So we ran down the stairs, we ran out to the back of the house and sat in the car. We were all crying and just didn't know what to do. We were just in shock. And next thing you know, we hear all these fire trucks, ambulances, and we went to the front of the house. The whole block was full of fire trucks, ambulances, police cars. The neighbors were all there. And I'm just thankful and grateful. I'm thankful and grateful that God spared my life. Um, it's just really hard to think about. I just want to thank him so much because I just feel so blessed. You know, like I said, that wasn't my first encounter with a near experience with death. But it was the first time. And I'm just so thankful and grateful. You know, there's a lot of people that I know who've experienced things like this and haven't made it out. And I'm just thankful that he spared my life once again, you know, and he just shows me, how much he loves me and that I'm here for a reason and for a purpose, you know. And that was my first experience. But I don't know why. Maybe I'm just healing childhood issues and trauma that I've been through. I've been through a lot, you know, even though it may not look like it. People like us who've been through a lot, we don't look like what we've been through. Trust and believe that. But I have been through a whole lot. So after the fire died down and we were able to go back into the house, there were very little things that we were able to salvage. Everything wasn't burned up, but there was so much smoke damage that we were barely able to keep anything. But I do remember that I had these little babies called, they were like quintuplets back then. They were little chocolate brown babies with little curly afros, and I had 5 of them. They were under my pillow, and I had been saving money that I had from the Tooth Fairy, and it was under my pillow, and that was there. So I don't know why, but I was able to salvage that, my quintuplets, my money from the Tooth Fairy. I had a costume that my mother had made for me. I was in a talent show and we were dancing to Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze, Do You Love Me? I used to love Patrick Swayze. I'm so glad that I can actually talk about this now without, you know, so much emotion because it's been really hard to talk about. A lot of things we suppress that we've been through in our childhood. And sometimes it just feels good to just get it off your chest, and just let people know where you're coming from and where you've been, you know, and just let you know that there is hope. So, you all have a blessed and wonderful day.